Welcome everybody. Glad that you are here and ready to learn, hopefully a bit. We will just jump right in. When you log on to the portal, you will see this screen right here. Your name will be at the top instead of mine. You will see all of the Archer information. And then you'll see several different tabs. What can you do with RoomRez? You can book hotels, you can book rental cars, you can book transfers, you can book tours, activities, multi-day tours, chauffeur-led tours, anything that is the active part outside of airfare and trains, you can essentially book in the majority of destinations within RoomRez. So you have one portal, one place to put all of the elements of your tour together. And what we're going to do today is show you how that works. We will do a little dummy booking so you can kind of see firsthand what it takes to get from step A to B all the way to Z. And at the end, we will have a quote that you would be ready to send out to your clients directly. That'll be nice, buttoned up, have all of the elements of the tour. Some of these things I have pre-done in a couple of tabs just to save time, but I'll walk through how I got there. So to start, we'll start with the hotel. So say you have a client that is wanting to do a couple of days in London. And so you type in this screen, this window right here. You would type in London, a few different areas of London pop up. So if you know what part of the town or city that you're looking for, the guest specifically wants to be in, you can help reduce the sort order size here. If you are open to anywhere in the city, I recommend always doing the city center. And I have my dates populated here, and then you just simply click search hotels. The sort order that's going to be presented here is not based on price, and it's not based on star ratings or anything like that. It is based on our recommendation. And so recommendation is where you're going to get the biggest bang for the buck. So where you have the ability to make the most commissions or save the client the most money. And you can reorder this by using the filters. There's several filters here on the left-hand side. And so we're going to just select 4 and 5 stars. And you're going to see the sort order. So this worked out well. This is a great example. So you're going to see two rates over here. You're going to see the Archer special rate, which you see is $387. And then you see the book online rate. The book online rate is what your client would see if they went to a Priceline, an Expedia, Kayak, or any of the online booking platforms, and they were to look at that specific hotel. This is the rate that they would see. So under this example, because they're booking through you, an Archer agent, instead of paying $1,200 a night, they're able to get that same hotel for $387. So that is a huge, huge savings. So once you figure out what hotel, and you can see some of them aren't that big of a discrepancy. Like this one is only $150 a night savings. That one's a couple hundred. That one's a couple hundred. That one's a little less than 100. So you'll see like the different savings. So in addition to that biggest bang for your buck, why we put them at the top, we also sort them by the most commonly booked by the RoomRez users. And RoomRez is only used by agents that are approved by us within the company. And so this is not, nor will it be, open to the public. It is just for travel agents only. And because you are a member of Archer, you have a direct line into the platform. And so if you settle, you're okay with this hotel, you want to go ahead and book that, you click the Archer special rate, and the hotel information will pop up. You will see some various images of the hotel. You'll see a map of where it is on the location. You'll get all of the various amenities, things like that. One thing I do want to call out is here under the fees section. If you're booking like an all-inclusive resort, like in Cancun or the Bahamas or something like that, there could be a resort fee that can't be prepaid. It has to be paid in person upon arrival, upon check-in. A lot of cities in Europe are also moving to a similar type of a fee, much less than a resort fee in Cancun or something like that. But if you're in like Barcelona or Rome, Madrid, several other cities throughout Europe are starting to impose a local tax, and it's $2 to $4 per night per person that must be paid in person at the time of check-in. Many of those are even cash-only payments. Those can never be prepaid, and if that does exist, we would call that out in this fee section so that you would be aware and the client will receive this information as well. With this hotel, you also see the proximity. So you see where it's located in relation to a lot of the key attractions throughout the city. You'll get all of that information. And then we go down into the rooms. And so when you first hit, you see these. Well, this is a bit higher than what was listed before because this is the total of the stay. So we are in this hotel. What I had in the search request was for 2 nights. And so this is for the 2 nights. There are a couple of icons here at the top to point out. One of these cards will show the cheapest rate. One will show the cheapest flexible rate, meaning that you have the ability to cancel if needed. And then you'll see the cheapest with breakfast and the cheapest with the ability to cancel with breakfast. And so the other thing to point out is all of the different room types within this hotel are listed here. That rate that you saw, much like any of the OTAs, that is the lead-in rate. So that's the cheapest room that they have. That particular room rate that we saw was for a garden view double room. But as you see, they also have suites. They have a master suite, different price points, obviously. If the hotel has shared images with us, we would share those images here. So when you see a picture of this room but not this room, it means the hotel has given us pictures of the master suite, but they've not given us any of the junior suite or the garden view. It's only 2 nights, so we're going to book with the flexible rate. I always recommend booking the flexible rate if possible, because in the world that we live in, things happen. And sometimes you may need the ability to cancel or change dates. So I'm just going to put in some dummy names here. And you would put in the guest name. So what you're going to see here is the total of what the hotel would cost. So it's with breakfast, because that lead-in rate was without breakfast and was with no refund possible. We selected with breakfast and the ability to get a refund. And if you remember, that first page was, I think it kept it here, that first page, the average online rate that the guest would see should they look up that hotel is $1,200 a night. And that's non-refundable and no breakfast. You're getting, because you're an Archer agent working with RoomRez, you're getting 2 nights with breakfast and the ability to cancel still for less than what they were able to even see for 1 night. So massive, massive deal. You'll also see down here, earn 516 points. We'll talk about reward points at the end, but just keep this in mind. You earn those points on each and every booking that you make within RoomRez. And those can be used for a multitude of things. We'll talk about that in a bit. So you see the prices listed, you got the days, you're checking the days, everything, and we'll click proceed. So we've got the first hotel. We are submitting it, so it's going through the system, running through everything, and it's going to pop up what looks like a section of cards. So you see the hotel is listed here. You see the check-in, check-out, check-in on July 1st, staying 2 nights, so check-out would be the 3rd. You see the hotel information, but then also in this, let me remove that because that'll make a difference. And let this catch up to us. So you got the hotel here. You see the board type bed and breakfast. So you got 2 guests staying 2 nights. You get the price listed there. And then you see the cancellation policy. So we're checking in on July 1st. You have free cancellation until June 30th on this particular hotel. That is not the same for every hotel. It varies from hotel to hotel, but different ones have different cancellation policies. So just make sure that you pay attention to that at the time of booking. When you are on the search engine, you can view that under the hotel information, but you can see it here too. And it'll always be visible to the guests. So what you present to them in the itinerary or a quote form, that will be visible. So we have all of this information listed in this nice little card. I want to point out a couple of things. These are some of the things that I did ahead of time. There are 3 call to action buttons here. You can add a transfer to this hotel. So that means once you have the flight information, and you should have the flight information before you add the transfer. And I appreciate that may not be known at the time of booking the hotel, but you can always come back and add it. If you do know the flight information, you can certainly book it at the same time that you do book the hotel. So when you click the add transfer to this hotel, it's going to open up a similar search window as for the hotel was, and you'll be able to put in what airport they're arriving from so that the transfer company knows where to pick the clients up, and the hotel information will by default be pulled in off of this reservation. You can also book transfer from this hotel. So at the end of their stay, you can book the transfer to pick up at the hotel, and that will automatically be populated in the information, but then you just need to say what airport they're going to. Now, we do transfers to and from airports or to and from cruise ports. So keep that in mind. Once you have put in that transfer to the hotel or transfer from the hotel, this information, just like the hotel, another car. I did this just a little bit earlier just so that we could save a few moments of time. But you would see all of this. So it pops up, I selected a private car. You'll have the opportunity to choose a shared ride. You could use a shared a shared van, bus. Depending on the size of the group, you can allocate the appropriate vehicle for that particular client. Now, once you have that information, you can see the price and everything is in there. And then once you click from the hotel, it does the same thing. I did this ahead of time. So selected from the hotel to London Heathrow, coming back to JFK. So you get all of that information in there. The other item that's here on the hotel card is add attraction to this hotel. So when you click add attraction to this hotel, depending on the destination, there could be a whole assortment of opportunities here. Could be simply admission to some of the local attractions. It could be a package where you get admission to like 3 or 4 items, or it could be a day tour. So I selected ahead of time a total London experience. So this is a day tour of London from 8 in the morning to 6 in the evening for 2 travelers, and it included entries to St. Paul's, Tower of London, the London Eye, and a riverboat cruise, along with guided information along the way and a guide going with them. So I selected that particular one for them to join, and it creates another card, and every attraction you do would be like that. So every item that you book like this, so you have the transfer to the hotel, you have the hotel, you have the day tour opportunity, and you have the transfer from the hotel. So this one itinerary has 4 different bookings in it. Now, number of bookings matters when we start to talk about the reward. So just planting that nugget there so we can come back to it in a bit. So once you have all of this information built, and it takes just merely a couple of minutes to build all of this out, and you have a full itinerary for your guests, then you can click this button here. It says Create Customer Quote. Now this is going to open up a new page, one that we will be able to manipulate a bit and able to create a quote that we are happy with that's going to go to our customers. One thing to keep in mind on this page, everything within the blue boxes, this is information in the end that the client is going to be able to see. So you want to make sure you're doing your proper punctuation, writing correctly, making sure everything is nice, prim, and proper, has the proper tone and voice of the brand that you're representing. Excuse me. And all of that is going to be visible to the guest. And you can manipulate this. It automatically defaults to what's pulled in here right now. So this top line, this will be what the heading of the quote is. So we'll just simply call it Lovely London Escape. You can elaborate as much or as little as you like. You can make it very personalized to speak to points that the client has requested or talked to you about. It's really up to you. This first line is always going to be the hotels. So whether you have one hotel or 4 hotels or more, all of those will be populated here. So maybe you don't want to say it's a 4-star. Maybe you just want to say 2 nights at the marvelous Montague on the Gardens. The second line will be all the tours and attractions that you included. So we had the Total London Experience. So just to put a little bit of extra spice and season with that, we'll mention that it has various entrances. Now you could list out the entrances of the St. Paul's and the London Tower, all of the London Eye, those specific things if you wanted to. Totally your choice. For the sake of time, we'll leave it at that. If you do include transfers either to or from or both, it will say includes transfers. If you don't, it will say something like enjoy London or something along that lines. But again, you can manipulate it and make it say whatever you want. So just for descriptive purposes, I'm going to put includes transfers to and from the airport in London. And we have that there. Then you'll have a series of questions. Now, some of these are going to be the same all the time, and you're not really going to need to change. And a couple of them, maybe you do or you don't. It's going to be dependent on what you're trying to accomplish with this quote. Would you like to include the customer name? Makes it very personal. 99% of the time, you're going to want to include the customer name. Would you like to display the itinerary dates? Most people probably want to know the days they're traveling. There could be reasons that you don't, but again, overwhelmingly, you're going to typically include the dates. Would you like to display and these are default selected include, so you never actually have to change those unless you're in that 1 to 2% where it's not applicable. Would you like to display a total price for the customer? I select and recommend that you select yes. This is going to pull in the total for the whole package, and it's going to give you that total right here. Now they only see what's in the box. So they won't see this other language that's out here. So your total agent price for this particular itinerary was $1,864. Your agent commission for this booking as it was is $205. So it took 10 minutes to make, 10, 15 minutes to make once you knew what you were looking for. And if all goes well, you've talked to the client, you would stand to make a couple $100 off of that transaction. There is one here, and I don't recommend using it. I recommend keeping this always as a no. You can select yes, and it will do an itemized list of every product that you booked. I would never send this to a client, because if you send this to a client, you're giving them the opportunity that they could remove you from the equation and try to book it on their own, or they could go and start shopping and comparing every single penny, because they will. And that creates a lot of unnecessary back and forth, because you're going to end up where you started in the end. But they're going to waste a lot of your time by going back and forth. So I always recommend keeping that as a no. Then there's one final tagline that will show up at the bottom of the quote. I think you'll love this package, and it's a great value. Call me to discuss. You could put your phone number in here, and Then the last thing is you'll see the Archer branding down here. So you want to see that blue dot. If you have some of your own additional branding as well, it will show up as an avatar right here, and they would be another dot to select there and choose the one that you that is appropriate for you at the time. And then we're just going to generate the quote. So we're almost at the end of everything. This is going to generate a quote. You're going to see the URL here. You're going to click on the URL. And now we're going to see what the customer would see. So now you're looking through the lens of the client that you've been working with. You're going to see the branding of whatever logo that you had up at the top. You're going to have some details here. All of the boxes that we filled out, Lovely London Escape, the dates, the guest, the total price, those 3 highlights. The picture is going to default to wherever the first hotel of the entire itinerary is located, which is London for this one. It's going to default with a scenic picture from that specific city. When the guest scrolls down, they'll see the hotel information. They will be able to click on View Details. They will see all of the amenities. They can flip through the various pictures of the hotel, and they can scroll on down. They can see the activity that was selected. They'll be able to see all of the instructions that come with that. It talks about the meeting point, all of the inclusions, what is or isn't proper included so that there's proper expectations set. And then you'll see a map of where the hotel is located. You can zoom in and out of that. You'll see the 2 transfers. You'll see the last tagline that you wrote. And then there's a button here that is I like it. When you click on I like it, a new box pops in. The guest would be able to put in their name and email. When they click the send button, it sends an email to you letting you know, hey, John likes that itinerary. He's ready to start booking. You can go ahead and start finalizing everything. And you can conclude the process. That's going to take you back to the other page. And then when you're down here at the bottom, you're ready to pay. You can pay and confirm. You put in the credit card and you click pay and confirm. If there's questions about, like if you only have one hotel in your itinerary, you don't have all of the transfers, you don't have all the attractions, you can hold a flexible cancellation date price for up to 7 days. Now we have an announcement coming, hopefully within the next week, maybe 2 tops, that's going to be a much more agent-friendly policy on that. So stay tuned for that. More to come, hopefully in the next week or so. But if you're booking a flexible rate, you can hold and pay later. So you have 7 days. I wouldn't say to the client you ever have 7 days. I would tell them 2 or 3. And that goes through that. So just to quickly wrap up, these other tabs, once you've made a reservation, they will show under the sales report, much like this. If you are holding space to book later, it will show under held bookings. Now you will see every client that you've worked with and you booked in the system, you will see your particular bookings under here. So you'll see all of that under the held. If you've created some itineraries and templates, like the one that we just did, it saves it under itinerary and templates. If you've created a quote, like the one we just did, you see the various quotes there, and the guest calls it in. You just click on it to view, and you go through and you're able to answer all the questions. The rewards. So after you get 1 booking, you are moved up to silver. After 60 bookings, you're moved up to gold, and after 120 bookings, you're moved up to platinum. The difference is 1 booking, you earn 1 point for every $2 spent. At gold, you earn 1.2 for every $2 spent, and platinum, you earn 1.5 for every $1 spent. And that is what's going to populate up here. And those will populate as you begin to accrue them. And you can use those on the platform for your own travel. You can book your own hotels with the rewards that you book. And there's no blackout dates, which is amazing. So you can book any city, anytime, anywhere, and use your points applied towards that. And that will be another great perk of using RoomRez. And that's the platform. That is everything in a nutshell. Amanda, do we have questions?
That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Art. We do have some questions. And the first question is the Arts of Travel rate commission still 11%? And is that pre-tax or after?
So the commission is included. So a couple of things within that question. The way that the rate works is correct. Yes, it's still the same. But what you're getting commission on is the rate and the taxes paid. The rate that you see when you saw the Archer rate, that rate already includes the tax. Whereas that 1,200, depending on what platform it was coming from, that may or may not include tax as well. So that's even a bigger savings. So the rate that you're seeing already includes your commission, already includes taxes, and you get the commissionable rate on that particular number. And you get the same on any item that was booked. So even the transfers, the attractions, you get commission, that same commission percentage on all of those. Great question.
Would you suggest that they just calculate 11% of the rate that's shown, or is there a place that shows them the commission? Um, is there a place that shows them the commission?
When you're in that quote function, it shows the commission right there. I got
Perfect.
highlighted. So, and that's whether you can do a quote on one hotel room for one night, or you can do it on a whole package like we just did. But it would show you the commission right there in the quote process building.
Perfect. And you could also just sort of calculate it based on 11% of
Yeah,
that price.
yeah.
Okay. Great. Next question. If clients pay for a hotel at the hotel, I know they can use a credit card, but they will only accept euros. Is that correct?
Uh,
I'm not
what
really sure. I don't.
if you're booking the hotel for them, they would never be paying at the hotel.
Yes.
However, to answer the other question, if you're traveling or your client is traveling to any foreign destination that has a different currency than USD, they are given the choice. Do you want to pay it in USD or the local currency? And it's the client's choice to hit that part of the question.
Yeah. Yeah. Just a side note, you should be using the credit card authorization form so you have authorization to use their credit card when you make bookings. Next question. Um, does the 7 day hold the rooms and the rate also?
It does. So you're locking, that's the beauty of it. So you're locking in whatever rate that you see, you're locking that in. You're holding that hotel room at that price for up to 7 days. Now, at 7 days, it'll fall off if you haven't done anything with it. But occasionally you come up and to a situation and you need like, hey, can I hold this till tomorrow type of thing? Reach out to our support team, and if possible, we will absolutely lock it in and give you that extra day. But on special occasions, obviously don't be doing that for every hotel room you book ever.
Perfect. After booking one of these packages, can we add to these packages anything for our clients, or is it done with?
Nope, you can. You can go in and you can modify the itinerary. Now there could be, like if you've already paid in full, the hotel rooms have to be paid in full at time of booking. A lot of the multi-day tours or packages only require 10% to actually lock them in at time of booking. So it varies depending on the element that you're booking. But I don't remember what the original question was. I'm sorry, I got distracted.
Um, can we add to these packages
Oh,
anything?
yeah, so then you can go back and you can add, even if you build another itinerary when you have the itinerary section there. When you're in the itinerary section, you can add, edit customer quote. You can create it there, or when you're in an actual booking, you can come in here and special request, and you can write a little note that says also see booking ID number blah, blah, blah. So all of each individual booking will have its own ID. So you could pair them up like that. And just for security, not security, security is the wrong word, just for satisfaction, reach out to the customer service team and let them know, hey, these two bookings go together. And so you can always add to it like that. A lot of times that's what you need to do with the transfers, actually.
Perfect. There's a question, is silver, gold, platinum agent specific or agency wide for the rewards? And I want to make a quick comment on that. I don't want you to get confused on your silver, gold, or platinum status with Evolution. That's completely separate. This is just and I know that's what you were asking. I just want to make sure that's clear. This is just for rewards for RoomRes.
It is agent specific, not agency specific. That's why everybody that if you have, it's login specific.
Perfect. So just be via your account, your rewards.
Yeah.
Perfect. Awesome. Let's see. Are we able to use the images or for marketing materials?
Images like that is visible within the site?
Yes. I think that's what they're asking.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
And they automatically pull into the quote when you're generating a quote and using a quote. Or if you're using a template, one of the things we didn't cover, you can create an itinerary template, and there's a little Facebook logo here to on the side when you're inside the itinerary, and you can actually post it to your social media. But yeah, you can use the images that are there.
Perfect. Is there an easy way or template to determine what beds are in the rooms? Some of them are complicated, like triple double beds without pictures.
The true answer is no, because there's no standard in the world. Even the sizes, a double bed in Europe is a different dimension than a double bed in the US. That varies even more. Like if you're in the Scandinavia region, what's classified as a double bed, there's a couple inches difference in size. So unfortunately not, because there's no global standard with bed dimensions, and it varies by hotel to hotel. Even within the same chain, it varies by hotel to hotel. So unfortunately, no.
I would like to add to that, as a travel agent and a concierge service to your clients, you can always just do the extra work. So after finding it on RoomRes, sending them the quote, having them go through the pictures, you can go ahead and either call the hotel or just go on their website and look at the dimensions of beds and ask them. I mean, I'm sure they'd take your phone call and let you know if you asked. So.
Yeah, and Google is your friend.
100% Google is your friend. That's what I always say. Google is your friend. Use Google. But always book on TA portals, but use Google for research. Perfect. I think that is the last question for now. Thank you so much, Art. Amazing presentation, easy to follow on the TA portal, and wonderful rewards that RoomRes offers for the agents as well. If you have any more questions, could you please, do you have contact us right there on your site that they could find?
Yeah, under the contact us, there you can get our support, phone number and email. If you need to reach me directly, either you can go through them and they'll send it over to me, or mine is just art@roomres.com. So instead of US support at roomres.com, it's just ART@roomres.com. And many of you I've already spoken with, but you can reach out to me if you have specific questions as well.
Perfect. I just want to follow. It's room-res.com, right, for the email?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay.